policy decisions affect real families every single day. Cameron is here to remind us that making Texas affordable and fair is not a right or left issue. It's a community issue, and we all have a stake in it. We all have a stake in it. I know a lot of folks here feel the pinch of property taxes. Yeah, it's a big ouch every year. Some of y'all are probably thinking right now that their extra taxes are going up or might go up in the future again, or will I be able to keep my house when I retire? Cameron's fighting so that the American dream doesn't slip away. And if you care about keeping Texas a better place where regular people can put down roots and flourish, we need to listen up. So help me in giving a loud round of applause to welcome Cameron to the stage. Woo!
Thank you, Konstantinos. Y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work in AV. I know where to hold the mic. Y'all can't hear me over there? How about now? Any better out there? Nothing at all still? All right. Hi.
Hi.
My name is Cameron Rollwitz, and I am first and foremost a husband and a father. Since my parents brought me to Texas at the age of 2, I have fallen in love with the state that I long called home, Texas. I grew up in North Houston. I attended Klein Oak High School and then completed my Associate of Arts at Lone Star College. From there, I completed a Bachelor of Science in Psychology at the University of Houston and a Bachelor of Arts in Religious Studies at the University of Houston.
Woo!
After completing that, I then completed my Master's of Science in Psychology at University of Houston, Clear Lake, just down the road. My research there focused on how people change their identity, their sense of belonging, and their overall purpose and meaning in life. I was able to develop a model of how we can go through and get through these tough moments. On top of that, I've worked full-time since 2017. First starting as a home theater sales rep at the local Best Buy. I then initially started in the call center of a telecommunications company and worked my way up to exploring director level roles right now. My work experience is in data science, system architecture, project management, process improvement, and automation engineering. I also own and operate a local hosting company and an esports coaching business. So I have 2 small businesses. My wife, Sarah, sitting right up front here, and I met in 2023, and we're soon married. And as Constantino said, we have a small son, Charlie. He's almost 10 months old now, born in December of last year. In April, we purchased our first home. While both of us were working full-time and trying to raise our son, we struggled to make ends meet. But we're scraping by just like most Texans. We put in blood, sweat, and many tears to get to what many call the American dream. We own a home, we have a car, we have a family, and we're still at risk of losing all of that as costs keep increasing. My in-laws have been the only thing keeping us afloat, offering their time, helping us care for our son as we both work just to make ends meet. And I've watched us trying to navigate home ownership, property taxes, caring for a newborn, student debt, and skyrocketing cost of goods in the state and across the country. Over that same time, I have watched the rich continue to get richer and our government become at best indifferent to its citizens and openly hostile at worst. I continue to see the latter more and more. We've seen it in Chicago, we've seen it in Portland, we've seen it in California. We're seeing it all over. I see teachers and Texans who are past retirement age but unable to retire due to not being able to afford the cost of living on their retirement fund. I see students in college who just graduated looking at the jobs they were promised not be there or taken by AI. If we don't change things soon, I will have to look my son in the eye and tell him those same things. When I was going to school, I was told that if you get good grades, if you work hard, if you go into a growing field like STEM, you'll be guaranteed a middle-class life. Regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, sexuality, religion, creed, ethnicity, any of those items, you were still able to succeed if you put in the work. And that was a lie
Yeah.
for everybody. Working class people are not left or right. Working class people come from every walk of life in Texas and in America. And we've watched our hard work do little over that time. Since 2009, between 2009 and 2023, the average wage in Texas, the median wage, increased by only $3,000. That's 10% over a 16-year period. It is less than inflation. It's unsustainable. We've been arguing over pointless culture war things for so long. The original children from the Save the Children movement back in 2016 have grown up and now have their own children. I was part of that group. I graduated in 2017 from Klein Oak High School. That was also when I first started to get involved with politics. I was initially a very large Bernie promoter and Bernie supporter, and unfortunately, things happened in the Democratic primary back then at the national stage, and he did not make it through. Many of my friends at that time were angry. We felt abandoned. We felt left behind. Many of them went to the far right. We have abandoned our working class people. And so, as we look into that, my generation continued to fight. We organized, we protested, we showed up, we continue to make an attempt and beg our representatives to hear us. Both left and right, young and old, and they still haven't. We watched our teachers become increasingly unable to afford their own homes, and it reflected in the stress we could see on their faces. I watched my mother have to go back to work while I was still in school after the 2008 financial crisis. My mother had a stroke when she was giving birth to me. It's very difficult for her to work. She had no other option. I watched her get trashed by administration after administration for pointing out that the ratio of students in her class was way above the state-regulated maximum. I watched her to continue to show up for those kids in every possible way, even though she was dying inside, running out of energy, exhausted. And she kept showing up, just like every teacher in Texas today.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then I continue to watch as administrations and superintendents of these local schools passed bonds that we paid for. Our tax dollars went to these bonds, and they did not go to increasing teacher salaries most of the time. They went to increasing superintendent salaries, administrative salaries, and rebuilding a stadium that the school district didn't need. They already had plenty of functional stadiums. If we can't protect teachers, something that directly enables the Texas state constitutional requirement for free and high-quality public education under Article 7, then what are our politicians doing?
Yeah.
Our politicians have begun to treat their districts as their own fiefdom to exploit, fleecing your pockets while also taking money from billionaires. They sit in their offices speaking like they know what their constituents want, and yet no one I know has ever gotten a response from their sitting representative. They'll get "I'll get back to you" or generic form responses. But that's not just Washington, it's Texas too. Most of our reps at the state level haven't held a town hall in years. Why would they? They already know how they will vote, so they can secure the money to win their re-election. They have abandoned us. But we, the people, still hold power.
Yeah.
In the Declaration of Independence, our forefathers said, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." There's a sentence right after that, though, too, that's very important. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. We do not give our consent to the king in office right now.
Yeah.
The government is a body of the people and for the people, and it should remain that way. Further, in the original Constitution of the Republic of Texas, our forefathers wrote, under the original Bill of Rights, under the second right, all political power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their benefit. And they have at all times an inalienable right to alter their government in such manner as they think proper. That means, even in the beginning of our initially country, but now great state, we recognized that power comes from the people. As we assemble here at No King's protest, I think back to the kings the United States has said no to. I think back to the dictator that this great state said no to. The last time Texas said no kings, we said come and take it.
Yeah.
The people here, we still have that spirit. Our rights are ours. We still have them. They still matter. But President Trump, holds his power still. And that is why, in addition to no kings, we also need to say no lords. Our lords are both the establishment politicians who have been bought by corporate interests and the billionaires, mega corporations and hedge funds that use their wealth to enable the king. Our votes still hold weight. Corporations and mega donors may be able to buy ads and fund big signs and do social media campaigns or big campaign rallies. But at the end of the day, they cannot buy your vote directly. They cannot tell you or make you vote a specific direction. The best that they can do is spend a bunch of money to suggest that you vote in a different way. So let's remember that as we continue to organize and mobilize. And in a way that gives me hope. I see the community coming together across political divides and recognizing that as a candidate for U.S. Senate, James Tallarico said, things are no longer a left versus right divide. It is a top versus bottom divide. This community is what we have together. That is our defense against tyranny. And to continue on a little bit of what Jay was saying before me, how many of you have met your neighbor? How many of you know your neighbor? And by know your neighbor, I mean know their name and have talked to them for more than a minute or two. Okay. How many of you would say you're friends with your neighbor? Have you invited them over for dinner? Have you had the opportunity? Do you know what they are struggling with? This event is our opportunity. They may not be able to be your physical neighbor, but we all live within at least a 30-minute drive of each other. Let's get back to using social media as a tool. Advertise events, do a board game night, start a trivia league. But please, keep in contact with your neighbors after this event. That is what keeps us united against tyranny, is not showing up one Saturday every couple of months. It's showing up for our neighbors and the people that we know and love every day. And I know we're all exhausted. All I have known is Trump-era politics, and I am so tired. I'm 26. I missed voting in the 2016 election by 1 month. Since then, I have only known the Trump era of politics, and I don't want that for my son. I refuse to let that be what continues on as my son grows up. To bridge these divides means strengthening our community connections. It's the cornerstone of our psychological needs as human beings. With a united community and exercising our rights as Americans and Texans, corporations have no power over who we vote for or how we vote. We get to pick the people from our community. The person we see every Tuesday night at trivia, or maybe the local community organizer in your subdivision has had great solutions that have worked for your local community and has decided that maybe this could work at a higher level, higher office. When elected representatives come from the people and stay of the people, it's a lot harder to ignore their constituents. And I see this starting to happen across the country. Our pushback is working. Ignoring social media and connecting is starting to happen across the country. There's hundreds of us here right now. I see people running for office not on a platform of more of the same or going back. We can't go back as much as we would like to. We can't go back. That means we got to look forward. Instead, these people are running on a platform of power of the people. Let's make the bare minimum to survive and have the freedom to pursue the right to life, liberty, and happiness a thing we do again. Let's represent the people that elected us, not the wealthy donors that bought ad space for us. And this gives me hope. Those of us running for office want something different, something better. Risky, maybe. But the laws can be repealed. We can normalize the new plan we want to try. We can normalize saying, hey, this was a plan we thought would work. We tried it and it didn't. These are the things that we have learned from it. This is the new plan. What is your input as our constituents? That sounds like the Texas and the America I know and remember. The Texas my teachers taught me about when I was growing up. Texas that dared to take risk, to lead the country, and it paid off. We are the second largest economy in the United States. The question is not, can we take care of the people in our state, like our current politicians ask? The question is, how do we take care of all the people in our state? As a data scientist, the biggest thing I could say I have found is that oftentimes the hard part is not figuring out the solution. The solution is usually very easy. The hard part is finding the right question to ask and being willing to ask that question. In this moment where we have to stop and ask ourselves who we are as Texans, Americans, parents, children, spouses, and human beings, we also need to answer the question of what we want. Do we want to continue to just keep skating by while the king and his lords feast? Or do we want to come together as communities and work to make sure we all thrive? That's the Texas I believe we can achieve. And if we continue to make our voices heard, I think we've already taken the first steps at realizing that belief. Thank you. My name is Cameron Rollwitz. I'm running for Texas State Senate District 11. I have a petition passed around. Please, if you see my wife in a high-vis suit or standing up at the front, she will get over to the petition for you. But thank you, and thank you all for coming, and I love this state, man.